What's going on YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition to my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're going to talk about Titans issue number 27, guest starring the Doom Patrol. This one's written by John Layman with artwork by Max Rainer, and this is another Beast Boy kind of focus thing going on here, but with Cyborg and the Doom Patrol. It's issue 2 of 2 of this quick little mini story arc, which, all things considered, I was totally fine with it being more of a Doom Patrol comic book. It's been more fun to read than kind of the main stuff going on in the rest of the Titans stuff, because it just felt a quick little arc, wrapped itself up, and now we're getting into DC KO for next month, which is the next big event, which I guess I got to read a lot more stuff when it comes to DC KO and talk about that. So I was so event fatigued from DC, but I'm like, okay, I'll check out DC KO and see a lot of the time. I don't think I'll go through every issue, but I'll go through a good chunk of them this time around. So we shall see. But anyways, the issue opens up where we get a little bit of the backstory of the Zookeeper. And no, I'm not talking about that crappy Kevin James movie with him and the animals and all that too. But it's the scientist named Samuel. What was his name? Samuel Register. What a weird name to have Register as your last name. But this is comic books, and he has a past history with Gar'sold, and during the stages of absolute power, his powers kind of lost themselves and ended up creating Beast Girl, and he has connection to Gar'sold and his parents and all that too, and he's kind of monstrous, but he needs the DNA from both of them to kind of stabilize his transformations and to gain some sort of powers and all that too. So we have the Doom Patrol working together with him. There's also been something affecting the others around Beast Boy and them. It's affecting the technology stuff. There's some sort of signal going out there that's dampening, I guess, Cyborg's powers and Robot Man's powers, which, yeah. Also, does anybody read Robot Man in Brendan Fraser's voice? Because I do, because I really did enjoy that Doom Patrol show. Yeah, it kind of fell off a little bit, but Robot Man was always the best character on that show. But I did like aspects of Gar just kind of being a mentor to Beast Girl, and you know what? This would be a good role for him. Get him away from the Titans and have him just work with the Doom Patrol, because that's kind of like his first family, and having him be the mentor for this other upcoming hero, Beast Girl, that's a good role for Gar. That's something to have him utilize his powers to kind of help somebody through a similar situation as to him. And it's good. And we also get a moment where we get the connection and relatability between Cyborg and Robot Man. And it makes sense because they're two people who were, I guess, fully human at one point, but now they're not so much anymore. Cyborg is able to maintain a little bit more than Robot Man because his brain's in there and all that. But he talks about, look, because like Cyborg is just kind of feeling things after what happened with Epinadia, but Robot Man kind of lets them know that, hey, look, we're both human and robots. Like, it's in Cyborg or machine, whatever you want to say. We're more than just the one thing. Like, we're both things equally in a way. Like, we can embrace both aspects of that, and that's what he needs to do, and that gives him the motivation. Like, okay, let's go in, let's go kick some ass. So then they fight the Zookeeper guy, and again, it's not Kevin James, and they kind of kick his ass for a bit. And he loses control over the animals that went crazy on the island because the little tower or whatever that was kind of controlling things and dampening the abilities of Cyborg and Robot Man goes crazy. And then he gets eaten by a dinosaur. And she's like, hey, so he's dead? He's like, probably not. But it's going to be a slow digestive process time. So you would think maybe, okay, if he's going to be digested, why don't I follow along with this guy and keep an eye on this dinosaur, so when the guy is digested, we can take him in to proper custody or something like that. No, they just kind of give up and fly away or whatever. And I just was like, Gar, this guy's going to get ready for some revenge. He gave you a hard time this time, so why not just track that dinosaur, wait for it to kind of poop the guy out, and take him into custody that way. So, you know, it's a little bit of humor. It's like, whatever, we won't worry about it right now. Okay, I mean, not that big of a threat, but given that he was endangering Gar and Beast Girl and still wants their powers for him to kind of stabilize his own, why not just keep an eye on things just to be on the safe side? But nah, we got to have some laughs with Beast Boy. So that kind of bothered me about this whole thing. So Rita ended up making him a new suit of sorts, and Cyborg was like, you're leaving us for the Doom Patrol? He's like, of course not, Victor. And I was like, oh man, I wish he did. So also, Cyborg, haven't you been on the Justice League 2 and now you're on the Titans? It's kind of strange with all this stuff that they got going on here, but I would be all for Gar leaving the Titans and just going back with the Doom Patrol. He just gels with them better, at least in my opinion, as based on this storyline. So they all return back and they head to the tower and they see members of the Justice League like, hey, we got a new event coming out. You guys ready for this? Shoot, didn't we just have an event not too long ago? I don't know, but DCKO is on its way. Even looking at some of the solicitations, it seemed to have different redacted fight versus redacted fight and yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. All things considered, I didn't really mind this issue. It just felt like a Doom Patrol thing, which was kind of more interesting than some of the stuff going on in the main Titans book. I liked seeing, here's a positive me about Beast Boy, I like seeing him being a mentor to Beast Girl, and I wouldn't mind him just kind of working with her. And this kind of goes into a concept that I've been wanting to see with the Titans as a whole, and something that Teen Titans Academy ultimately kind of failed at, was the older heroes being mentors for the younger ones. This is a good role for them, because like in the main Titans book, it just feels like a bunch of like people who peaked in high school just kind of hanging out together and not really doing much. Like what's their purpose anymore in this front? So like that's just kind of the vibes I had gotten with it, especially with Justice League Unlimited and that going on, and the Titans now no longer the forefront of everything. Yeah, they have their own way of doing things, and it's good to see friends together in that, but like, what are we really advancing with them? But this is a good way. Like, you having the moment between Cyborg and Robot Man. That was good. That was a good bit. And having Gar as a mentor to Beast Girl. Why not let him stick around for a while and help her kind of get better? I think that would be really good for him. Or maybe he's just going to kind of give her a little bit of a guiding hand, but let her ultimately learn things on her own. Even though that Zookeeper guy is still kind of around somewhere. He's going to get pooped out by that dinosaur at some points if he's not fully dead. Why they didn't just kind of put a tracker on that thing. Like, okay, he's going to come out this way. Let's keep an eye on that. But no, not really. We just kind of need to have that laugh at the end of it. But that's just my thinking of it also. But yeah, next up is DCKO. So I didn't mind taking a break with the Doom Patrol. The last 2 issues is a short little arc, and sometimes I'm okay with quick 2-part arcs. Nothing doesn't always have to drag on for like 20 issues or anything like that. So it kind of worked in that sense. So this was an improvement. Mostly because it felt just like a Doom Patrol comic book more so than it did a Titans. And maybe that's where Layman should kind of put his writing to, is just doing Doom Patrol stuff, and I'd be all for that more so than whatever we're doing in some of the other Titans issues. So this was better. This was definitely better. I liked it. Do you hear that? I liked it. And although it just felt a little bit short now that we're going back to DCKO, so a few issues here and there, but it kind of showed a direction that I think they should take with Gar. Have him be a mentor. Just focus on that. That's a good role for him. But we're sadly just not going to get that. So, and maybe it could help him mature too in the long run as well. But, oh well, back to just going back to the Titan stuff. And yeah, so anyways, that's all I really have to say about this thing. What did you think of it? Post your comments down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with friends, subscribe to the channel for more content, hit the bell for notifications, and I should be all caught up with DC books now. So look forward to the new stuff on Wednesday. All right, well, that's all I have to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.